Welcome everyone, my name is Echo, and in today's Minecraft video, I'm going to be teaching you everything you need to know about Minecraft's new editor tool. This is practically an in-house world edit, which is built for Minecraft Bedrock Edition. I'm going to teach you the basics, but also the more advanced stuff. I will place timestamps throughout today's video in case you just want to skip to a specific part. With that being said, let's get into this. For those of you who want to know how to install this, because it is a separate app on Minecraft Windows, I will leave a link to a different tutorial down below. It will take you a max of 5 minutes to do. It's super simple. First thing we need to do is create a project. Clicking on this will bring up the already familiar Create New World screen that Minecraft Bedrock has had for a very long time. Call the project whatever you want. We're going to call this Minecraft Editor Mode Lesson. Change the game mode to creative, mess around with your settings, and just create a world. When you've created a world for the very first time, this is what your game will look like. You will have the selection options, and you will have quick start. The introduction just teaches you the basics about what this is and what it can be used for. Moving on to movement just explains how you can move around using keyboard and mouse, WASD. If you've used a keyboard for a very long time, pretty self-explanatory. Selection teaches you about the selection tool. I'm going to teach you everything you need to know down to freeform, fixed distance, and adjacent. The tools that are available. Again, it explains to you how to use the brush tool, which can be accessed right here. And then you've got also actions, and there is a few more details inside of here. Feel free to learn them if you want to. However, if you know all about this, my recommendation is to hit the X because you're not going to need that. However, if you do want to get this back up, if you click on help and you click on quick start, it will bring this menu back up once again. Let's start with the basic options. So if you click on file, you do have export as, and that's a playable world. So once you've completed your creation, if you do want to share this with friends or family or anyone in the Minecraft community, you click on playable world, and this is going to export this world as a .mc world, which you can then pass it around to whoever you like. The UI settings lets you customize the UI to however you like. So you have file, UI, you do have the scale. By default, it will be 100. You can increase this, which is very, very big. You can have this at 120, 100, 75, 50, and even 25, which is very hard to see on the eyes. I recommend keeping it between 75 and 100. 75 still gives you the ability to see these pretty decently, but also gives you a very good visual experience when you're playing it. And a great way to test this, we click on quick start, you can see here, it's not going to obscure the view in the background as well. There is also an option to change the font size as well, which actually goes to 200% as well. But again, I recommend keeping this to 100. It's completely up to you. Then we move on to themes. By default, the game will be set to dark, which looks like ordinary Minecraft Bedrock. We do have light mode if you're a monster. We do have redstone, which is what I've been using because it just looks really, really nice. We do have high contrast, and this is something that they've recently introduced to Minecraft Bedrock. Change the theme however you like. The next setting we have is edit, and these are just going to be quick actions to make your experience a lot better. If you're familiar with a keyboard, you're going to know the copy and paste is pretty simple. It's simple as copy and simple as paste, which is Control and C and Control and V. There is a few more options available here, which I recommend learning. There is also quick actions to access these, which there's only 3 at this current moment, but I am expecting more to be introduced in the future. Next, in our options, we have world options. We have actors. So actors is pause or unpause, and that is things such as mobs like cows. So if we click on unpause, you'll see here the cows are now going to play and move around like they would ordinary in Minecraft, and you can actually pause these. This is a great way for copy and pasting certain things, and I really like that option. Also in world options, we have change dimension, so you can change your dimension from overworld to never or to end. Let's do that real quick. The one thing I want to mention here is it's teleported me to this position. So at this point, I want to teach you about crosshair mode. Tapping on crosshair mode will literally bring you to ordinary Minecraft. Now, as you can see here, the base island for the end is right here. But if you do ever get stuck and it teleports you really far away, just type in this command /TP @P do 0, 70, 0, because typically the base island is always on 0 on the X and also 0 on the Z coordinate as well. So for some reason, it does sometimes teleport you quite far away. Now, at the same time, I can then press escape to get out of crosshair mode. It's going to take me from crosshair mode back into the editing options. Now, you can also use a quick action, which I've completely lost that one. I think it might be Control and Tab. Yes, Control and Tab is going to take you back into the editing options. And you can do it again to go back into crosshair mode. This is why it's important to learn the quick actions. It just makes life so much easier for you. And again, I can change dimension all the way to the nether. One more thing I'd like to point out here is when you do change dimensions. So for example, we've just been in the end and the nether. Whenever we come back to the overworld, it's going to teleport you to the spawn of that world. So if you've been building thousands of blocks away, my recommendation is go to crosshair mode and you want to do /set. I'm going to set this as the world spawn. Set it to wherever you've been building. So when you do come back from one dimension, you can continue where you left off, rather than being straight back at the spawn location of the world. And the last world option is change cycle. You can turn the daylight cycle on or off. Pretty standard. Then you have help, which I've told you, which is quick start. Documentation will take you to a text guide on how to use the world edit options. And then you've got feedback, because again, this is still in experimental and a lot of things are going to be changing down the line. Now, like I said, we do have crosshair mode here, but like the basic tutorial at the start taught you, using space, you can go up. WASD lets you move around. Now, when you're in this mode, you're practically in spectator mode. Kind of makes sense as to why they've added this to the game. So you can still move around in freeform if you are in the editing options. Now it's time for the more exciting stuff. We have 3 separate tools to mess around with. The first one is the selection tool. Hitting Control and S will bring up this menu. Now, in terms of modes, there are 3 separate ones. We have freeform, fixed distance, and adjacent. I'm going to teach you about all of these, but let's start off with the freeform first. Now, what I do want to say is when you tap on a block using this one, it's going to bring up like arrows. These are called, or this is called gizmo mode. Now, the reason why I like this is because you can take this up and drag it into any direction you want. So we're going to copy this structure. However, with this mode, if I tap on this block over here, and I just move around, I can also tap over here while holding Control and left click, and it's going to copy a large quantity. Now, put it this way, this is that strong that I managed to copy and paste this whole entire biome, being the new Cherry Grove introduced. But we're going to start on a much smaller scale. It's showing you everything we have selected at this point, and it's showing me that this whole entire building is not currently selected. So at this point, right, we can tweak this. Now, I can click on either of the corners and mess around with them and drag them wherever I want. So, for example, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take this up. We want to make sure we're copying this whole entire thing. I'm going to tap on this. I'm going to bring it in a little bit more. Now, like I said, with the actors, you can actually copy and paste villages. Now, the best way to explain this tool and what it is, it's like an advanced version of the command blocks plus structure blocks combined. It's phenomenal, and this is going to be so big for Minecraft Bedrock. We're going to take this up a little bit more. And what we're going to do is we're going to move over here. I'm not fully happy with this, so we're going to drag this in a little bit more. So as you can see, we have this selected. Now, one thing I don't like about this is that if you do accidentally click off this, there is no way to get your previous selection back up. At this point, I would have to reselect everything, and then obviously we're able to select it. It doesn't take too long on a small scale like this, but on a large scale, it can be really, really annoying. Now we have this selected. I want to show you guys the origin. So the origins, again, it's just going to be the coordinate locations. You can see them up here. It's showing me what we're selecting. I mean, I can take this as wide as I want it to be, by the way. I'm going to do this. Let's do this as like 20, right? So you can take this a little bit bigger. So it's taking it further back there. So this has gone a little bit further back. So if you wanted to do it bit by bit, block by block, we can set it to 15. We've got the coordinates, so we'll do this by 15. Just go up a little bit more. The Z coordinate, we'll do this by 20. Again, that's just a pinpoint wherever you want this to be. Now, we're going to simply copy and paste this. So if you just want to copy and paste it, just hit Control and C. At the top, it's going to tell you that selection has been copied. then you can go wherever you want. So let's say I wanted to copy it. I'll click here, hit Control and V, and this is going to completely copy the build that I've just done. Now, let's say you're not happy with this. No problem. We have tools here. So I can undo and I can redo that again. There is shortcuts for this, which is Control and Z, Control and Y. So we hit Control and Z, Control and Y. We can repaste these, but I don't like where that's selected. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna click there, Control and V. I actually like that location. Looks pretty simple. And that is what you can do with the free transform. But like I said, we can take this to a whole new level. So if I tap here and select, and hold on, it's got to be simulation distance. That's the thing with this. It is simulation distance related. So I can't tap here and then select all the way up there because it's just not going to work. So there is a limitation. I mean, I can go all the way up here if I wanted to copy this whole entire village as an example. So we'll bring this way, and then we'll take this a little bit further that way. And then once again, Control, we've copied this. I'm going to tap on the water there and hit Control and V. Now, again, it loads very, very quickly. Very, very quickly. It's not a slow tool. There's no lag. There's no latency from what I've noticed. Obviously, the larger scale you're going to be copy and pasting, the more laggier it will become. But that is pretty much the free tool in action in terms of copy and pasting it. However, something else you can do with this is with the free form. Again, if we tap here and we do this, we have more options down here, so we can fill this in. So I've just completely changed that from grass to stone. Let's say we'll take this to a whole new level, right? You know, something that's really cool here. We've got the nether reactor. So from the old Minecraft Pocket Edition, so nether reactor, we can do fill. It's now been filled in. If I tap away, it's now been filled in. And we can deselect, so you're not currently selecting anything at all. And I can undo this, and I can redo it. So the freeform is a lot easier to work with. You can just do the coordinates wherever you want to mess around with the coordinates. But tapping on either of these locations will let you change the sizes. I really love this. The next mode we are checking out is called fixed distance. Now, wherever I look, you can see that this is selecting one block at a time. You can increase the size of this, and I think this tool is built more for pinpoint accuracy. The brief description behind this tool is that the fixed distance mode can select blocks, air, or a combination of both. So what I'm gonna do is I'm selecting this, and then I'm gonna tap on this. It's telling me exactly where this is, and I'm gonna fill this in as a diamond block. Now, like previously, you can select the corners, and then I can select again, and this is again built for more pinpoint accuracy there. Let's say I do this one more time and I'm like, let's change this to, we'll go netherite for this one. We'll do a netherite block. We can fill this in. It's going to select all of the blocks. It's going to fill them all in because they are all highlighted. So if you don't like that, we can undo that. But at the same time, I can then go back to this game mode or this option, go right next to this one, which is right there. I'm going to fill selection. And we're going to deselect. We're going to fill selection, which is the new one. Hold on. There we go. Right there. We're going to do tap on this. Fill selection. It's filled it in as netherite. So I think this would be really good for building custom trees one block at a time. And that's pretty much what the fixed distance is. Final mode in the selection tool is adjacent. And the brief description behind this one is adjacent mode selects only the air next to, above, or below solid blocks. So you can see the previous one, we could place that in the air wherever we wanted to. But with the adjacent one, as you can see, it's hovering above blocks. It's basically all to do with air. So what we'll do is we'll increase the size of this one. What I'm going to do is I'm going to move this over here. Keep moving around. We're going to make this a little bit bigger. We'll do this right there. And then we'll change to whatever we want because you can actually change this to lava. So I've selected lava. We're going to fill selection. And then we're just going to deselect. And you can see that we've now selected lava. And hopefully that village doesn't burn. But again, this one just selects air and the open area. So let's say we wanted to blow this up. As you can see, it's now only selecting the air blocks. So let's put this here. Once again, you can transform this as big as you want, as wherever you want. So we're going to fill this in. We'll do like a wall of TNT here, for example. So we'll go all the way across here and we'll type in TNT, for example, and we'll fill selection, deselect, and then we can go to crosshair mode and we can still access the creative inventory if you wanted to And then we can blow this up. And it doesn't explode. So maybe we need to change this to unpause. Ah, okay. That makes a little bit more sense. We have to unpause this in order for the TNT to actually work. Okay, don't forget that. That's a very simple mistake that I've made there. The next thing we're going to be checking out is called the paste preview. You can hit Control, Shift, and V to bring this up, or you can tap on it to also bring it up. Now, this is going to be copying and pasting the previous thing you literally copy and pasted. So from my understanding, the previous thing that we copied and pasted would have been the original village. So if I hit confirm paste, it's once again going to paste the village right here. It happens in a matter of seconds, no lag, no latency. But I do want to show you this on a much smaller scale because this is quite an advanced tool and you can rotate this. Again, there is fixed positions that you can rotate this by, starting with 0, 90, 180, or 270. And you can mirror these. So let's start with a very, very basic copy and paste, and we'll do a small village. So at this point, it's now a really good idea for me to use the free transform option and just copy and paste this small house. So we're going to do this right here. At this point, let's bring up the copy and paste option. So I'm going to tap right here, and this is the small house that I've just copied. Now, what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to confirm the paste, and this is this house. I'm also going to rotate this 90, confirm and paste, rotate this 180, confirm and paste, rotate this 270, confirm and paste. This is an early copy and paste tool. Again, we do have Control and C and Control and V, but if you want to pinpoint the houses right next to each other like this tool is what that is built for. I'm also going to tap right here and we're going to mirror it. So what we'll do is we'll paste it there. I'm going to mirror this behind it and hit confirm. Completely mirrored. We're going to mirror this to the Z-axis. We're also going to confirm this as well. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit this one. And again, we can copy these in 4s. This time, they're basically the complete same. They're facing each other. Everything's the exact same. Meanwhile, this one is obviously rotated. And that is what that tool is used for. You can do this on a larger scale. And I'm going to show you an example of what happens when I copy and paste a whole entire biome. Now, again, simulation distance is factored in here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start here, and then I am going to copy it to about here. But for the rest of this, I'm going to have to manually select these and move it. So at this point, I'm going to speed up today's video, but I will show you in full detail me copying and pasting this whole entire biome. So at this point, I'm going to go to crosshair mode. It's just a lot easier for me to double check that everything is okay. I have got a large quantity selected. Hopefully this isn't lagging too much here. But as you can see here, I haven't selected it all. So at this point, I'll tap on this corner and I'd bring this all away. Now, of course, I'm not going to be able to copy this to be absolutely perfect because, well, it's just a quick tutorial showing you guys how this works. Okay, so I'm happy with this. I'm going to hit Control and C. Again, at the top, it's copied in no time. And then now I need to go find a location where I would like to paste it. So I believe there is a limitation on how much you can copy and paste, but I'm going to tap this here and hit Control and V. Now, this does not happen instantly. And this is something that can take a little bit of time and does cause a lot of lag. So you got to be patient with this copy and paste if you're doing it on a large scale like I've just done. So I think because simulation distance is a thing that's been factored in and why we have missing chunks. So if I go a little bit higher and then I hit Control and V again, maybe it'll copy and paste it in a little bit better than what I've just previously showed you. So at this point, it'd probably be a good idea for me to increase my simulation distance. Again, I can't see too many people working on this kind of a scale, but I just wanted to show you that it is possible if you wanted to do it. So yeah, we do have a few chunks missing there. But again, it's possible. So the last tool we have today is called the brush tool. Control and B brings up the menu. This is my favorite one. This is everybody else's favorite one as well. So we have brush size. Again, you can make this as big as you want. So we'll start off very, very basic here. By default, it's set to stone. So we'll start this at 1, and you can see here what this is doing is basically placing down some stone. We can increase this as much as we want. Obviously, the bigger you do, the bigger the box is going to be. This is all going to be stone blocks right there. As you can see, they're all stone. Now, you can change this to whatever you block you want. So, let's say you were building a map, but you wanted to remove some serious land. You can remove the land. I'm just going to pretty much undo what I've just done. So, this is going to completely remove all of them. Again, the more you do, the more lag it's going to have, but you can just keep moving land. We're going to move some of the fresh land here as well because we don't need it. In fact, we'll do this on a bigger scale. Let's take out some large quantities of this. We'll fill in all of these. So this should now be done as air as well. But you can change it to whatever you want. So let's do a different one here. Let's do diamond. Again, diamond is everyone's favorite to mess around with here. But we're going to do this on a large scale. So this is all going to be diamond blocks. But you can pinpoint these as one at a time. So we'll do this a little bit more precise. So we'll tap one there. That's going to be one of them. We'll do it again right there. That's going to do there. And you can do it again. And you can do it to the sides of these as well. So we'll do one right here. That's not good enough. So we'll undo that one and we'll go down a little bit. That's still not okay. We'll undo that one. Now, another option we have here is we do have a hollow option, right? So let's grab ourselves some glass, for example. We're going to do hollow with this one. But what I am going to do is I'm going to do this on a very large scale. Now, this is a solid block because there was no hollow options. And then if we go over here and we tap on hollow and we change this to quite big, so we'll put this here, you'll see here that when we go into this, it's an actual box. Now, this would be really good for, I don't know, like custom sky maps in an empty world. I think different world options would be a really cool thing, you know, like the presets that Java has. And you can do this on a small scale. So let's say inside of this box, you wanted to have a 7 one. Again, completely hollowed out as well. You can cage all your friends in, I don't know, bedrock if you wanted to. Let's get some bedrock blocks here. You can hollow it out. So now your friends are going to be trapped inside of here. And the last tool we have is face mode. And this is practically a drawing tool. It just makes life easier when placing blocks in a certain location. And you can see it's basically going to the adjacent sides. And you can place one block at a time. So if you wanted to make custom trees in a world, I think this is probably the easiest tool to do this with. This set to 1 is much easier to work with rather than having them on a large scale. But if you wanted to have a massive tree, you can do that as well. And place these down here. And I think this is like the pinpoint accuracy tool. So I really hope today's video has helped you out. If you do have any questions, please feel free to let me know in the comments section. Honestly, it's one of the best tools, one of the best things that's ever happened to Minecraft Bedrock Edition. Again, timestamps throughout today's video if you have any issues, and I'll see you all in the next video because this is going to be a tool that will be continuously updated.